Welcome, Martin, National Director for Together in Mission. Great to have you here at our Leaders' Day at Reading Vineyard Church. Martin, we were talking at some stage in the day about an observation of the feminization of the church, particularly in the West and certainly in this country. What are your views on why we have that as an issue?
Well, first of all, what we mean by that is that just the simple observation that 2/3 of those who attend are women, only 1/3 are men. So what's actually going on there?
Yeah.
Now, it didn't always work out that way. It used to be that men were much more involved, much more responsible for the spiritual life of their family and for leadership in the church, it has to be said. So what happened? Well, those who've made some study of this would say, look, it probably started at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution when men were removed from the home in order to go to work and began to take less responsibility for the upbringing of the children, and that included their spiritual development. So spiritual development began to be associated with women caring for children. So women and children go to church, men therefore aren't as closely connected. Now that was hugely reinforced by the impact of the First World War, when many men in the 18 to 25 age group particularly were killed.
Yeah.
And of course those who did return often didn't return to church. So again, the church becomes much more dominated by female attendance. Now that's then further reinforced by the themes that we have, Christian themes of pastoral care, compassion, which are much more female traits, if you like, not wanting to pigeonhole people, but it just feels a bit more like that. And so men then begin to struggle to say, well, how do I make a contribution in a culture that looks like this and feels like this?
Yeah.
And it's tremendously important because of the impact, again, on children. So somebody's done some work and suggests that if you win a child to Christ, then maybe 3% of occasions you win the rest of the family. If you win a wife and a mother to Christ, maybe there's a 27% chance of winning the rest of the family. But if you win a husband and a father to Christ, it goes up to possibly as high as 95% chance of winning the rest of the family. So immensely significant area.
I mean, that's a huge,
it is a huge number.
Huge figure, isn't it, for men? And I guess if sociologically we understand where the dominance of women in the church came from, just the fact that actually there were more women because of the First World War and other factors like that, inevitably it's going to be, the former church is going to be shaped by the dominant grouping within the church.
It can be self-reinforcing, and there are those who observe that some of our modern worship songs, well, to put it a bit crudely, sound a bit like Jesus is my boyfriend. And I noticed that Graham Kendrick has recently said, well, he's going to devote the next few years to writing songs specifically that men could really sing. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that.
It will be. It will be. I mean, off the top of your head, and I'm putting you on the spot here, are there themes that actually men will identify more in the God story that we should be emphasising?
I certainly think those things to do with vision and courage and adventure and all those sorts of fairly manly themes, we could do with recovering some of those.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you. Thank you.